February 19th, 1945. Dawn's first light, Iwo Jima's black ash beaches. Waves crash like thunder against jagged volcanic rock. Sergeant Mike, Iron Mike Kowalski, grips the traverse wheel of the Quad-50, his gloved hands slick with sweat despite the chill. 4.50 caliber Brownings stare seaward. Barrels still hot from night-strafing run smoke curls from muzzles like dragon's breath. You can almost taste the sulfur in the air, mixed with cordite and the metallic tang of blood. Suddenly, a guttural roar erupts from the ridges above hundreds of voices, feral, chanting Banzai. Japanese soldiers pour down the slopes, bayonets fixed to Arisaka rifles, faces smeared with ash and fanatic fury. Private First Class Tommy Ruiz, loader on Kowalski's mount, freezes for a split second, eyes wide at the human tide. Imperial Marines from the 2nd Yokosuka SNLF, led by Lieutenant Hiroshi Tanaka, screaming oaths to the Emperor as they charge knee-deep through razor wire. No fear, just death wish momentum. Kowalski's voice cracks over the field phone. Quad-50 sector red Banzai incoming, traversing fire. The mount whirs, electrical controls snapping the guns left. Tracers ignite the dawn red-hot lances, stitching the air at 2,000 rounds per minute combined. Bodies erupt in pink mist, limbs cartwheel skyward. A runner with a red rising sun banner crumples mid-stride, torso shredded like wet paper. The charge falters. Tanaka waves his katana, urging his men on over 500 strong, many wounded from naval barrages, but driven by bushido code. You hear it now, the shift. Screams turn from rage to raw terror as the meat chopper lives up to its name. One gun jams briefly Ruiz, slams a fresh 100-round belt home, and the barrage resumes, turning the slope into a slaughter pen. Limbs pile like cordwood. The ground quakes with impacts. But not all fall silently. A knot of 20 survivors veers right, dodging behind boulders, eyes bulging at the mechanical reaper. Corporal Kenji Sato, Tanaka's radio man, clutches his Nambu pistol, whispering, "KMISAMA ... Demon is that?" They huddle, breaths ragged, as the quad's roar echoes like Judgment Day. The charge breaks. Men flee backward, trampling their own dead. Kowalski wipes blood-flecked goggles, scanning the carnage. Over 200 Japanese down in under a minute. The beach a charnel house of twisted steel and flesh. Marines cheer hoarsely from foxholes, but Ruiz spots movement stragglers regrouping in the smoke. Tanaka's voice carries faintly. Fix bayonets. Second wave. Dawn's breaking fully now. How many more will the quad devour before they learn? The Iwo Jima assault was no ordinary landing. 5 days in as Marines of the 28th Regiment 5th Marine Division claw their way inland against hidden tunnels and 22,000 fanatical defenders under General Tadamichi Kurabayashi. But this dawn patrol on the northern flank changes everything. Kowalski's Battery C, 1st Battalion, 13th Marines, positions their M45 quad-mount a 1944 innovation by Maxon Corporation. 4 synchronized M2 Brownings on a powered turret, designed to shred Zeeks at 2,000 yards, but reborn for ground pounding. Feel the grit underfoot. Volcanic sand sucks at boots like glue. Private Ruiz feeds belts hand over hand, muscles burning from endless drills back on Maui. Keep him coming, Tommy. Kowalski bellows, his Polish Irish fire fueling the crew. Gunner Pete Tex Harlan tracks targets through iron sights, finger dancing on the pedal. The air vibrates each burst a deafening hammer blow, brass casings arcing into dunes like golden rain. Up the slope, Lieutenant Tanaka rallies his platoon. At 26, he's a Nanjing veteran, indoctrinated with tales of unbreakable spirit. His men conscripts and elites alike grip Type 99 grenades, ready to close and gut the hairy barbarians. They crest the ridge at a sprint, heartbeats pounding like war drums. But then ... the storm hits. Quad-50 tracers arc impossibly fast, a wall of fire 50 yards wide. Sato sees his best friend, Private Yamamoto, explode, legs gone, screaming as he crawls. Blood sprays hot across Sato's face. Panic ripples. "Meet Chopper!" Someone shrieks. The nickname spreads like wildfire among survivors, whispered in foxholes from Tarawa to Saipan. The quad doesn't miss. Its 360-degree traverse, and 50 BMG rounds punch through rice paddies of flesh, tumbling bodies end over end. Tanaka stumbles over a gutted radio man, katana slick with gore. He fires blindly with his Nambu pings off the mount's armor. Do nothing. You can sense his world cracking. This isn't honorable melee. It's annihilation. Marines watch in awe. Corporal Lena Doc Vasquez, 5th Division medic, patches a wounded loader nearby, her hands trembling as body parts rain down. "Jesus, it's like a scythe," she mutters. The beach defense line holds artillery spotters, call in 105mm shells, but the quad steals the show, chewing through the charge like a buzzsaw through bamboo. Over 300 Japanese lie still. Wounded moan in the ash, clawing futilely, yet the horror deepens for the enemy. Sato and a dozen stragglers dive into a shell crater, gasping. The roar fades momentarily, cooling barrels, but they hear Kowalski's crew laughing defiantly. "Reload! They're coming again." Sato peeks out. The quad's silhouette looms like a steel demon, silhouetted against Suribachi's smoking cone. Bayonets useless. Spirit broken. What madness sends them forward now? The artillery fire quiets, replaced by the harsh reality, sprawling across Iwo Jima's volcanic ash. The battle lasted 36 relentless days, but the scars of that dawn's Banzai charge linger like a new cancer etched into Marine Corps' lore. Over 6,800 Marines paid the ultimate price, killed or missing, a figure beyond comprehension, the deadliest battle in Marine history, tallying more than twice the American fatalities of the First World War. Another 19,000 were wounded, faces and bodies twisted by the unyielding combat. On the other side, about 20,000 Japanese soldiers died fighting fanatically. Their numbers diminished from 21,000 entrenched at the outset, with only 216 ever taken prisoner. The Quad-50s thunder was a grim constant in that maelstrom. Originally designed as an anti-aircraft weapon, its 4 synchronized M2 Browning, 50 caliber machine guns were repurposed into a terrifying meat chopper on the front lines. Its devastating effect on Banzai charges didn't just kill its shattered spirit. Stories spread among Japanese soldiers about this fierce demon of steel, which tore through ranks without mercy, prompting fear that bled into every calculation of their tactics. The psychological weight of facing such a weapon turned fearless warriors into terrified survivors. As the Marines pushed toward Mount Suribachi and beyond, the island's underground caves became the last refuges for defenders. Brutal close-quarters combat ensued, flamethrowers, satchel charges, grenades each step forward, a battle between desperation and survival. The Quad-50s, now silent, left behind a tableau of carnage and a profound legacy of courage against near impossible odds. The question lingered in Marine minds. How many more meat choppers would steel their nerves in the days to come? The mountain's shadows hid more than enemies. They held the whispered ghosts of this devastating encounter. The artillery fire quiets, replaced by the harsh reality, sprawling across Iwo Jima's volcanic ash. The battle lasted 36 relentless days, but the scars of that dawn's Banzai charge linger like a new cancer etched into Marine Corps' lore. Over 6,800 Marines paid the ultimate price, killed or missing, a figure beyond comprehension, the deadliest battle in Marine history, tallying more than twice the American fatalities of the First World War. Another 19,000 were wounded, faces and bodies twisted by the unyielding combat. On the other side, about 20,000 Japanese soldiers died fighting fanatically. Their numbers diminished from 21,000 entrenched at the outset, with only 216 ever taken prisoner. The Quad-50s Thunder was a grim constant in that maelstrom. Originally designed as an anti-aircraft weapon, its 4 synchronized M2 Browning 50 caliber machine guns were repurposed into a terrifying meat chopper on the front lines. Its devastating effect on Banzai charges didn't just kill its shattered spirit. Stories spread among Japanese soldiers about this fierce demon of steel, which tore through ranks without mercy, prompting fear that bled into every calculation of their tactics. The psychological weight of facing such a weapon turned fearless warriors into terrified survivors. As the Marines pushed toward Mount Suribashi and beyond, the island's underground caves became the last refuges for defenders. Brutal close-quarters combat ensued. Flamethrowers, satchel charges, grenades each step forward, a battle between desperation and survival. The Quad-50s, now silent, left behind a tableau of carnage and a profound legacy of courage against near impossible odds. The question lingered in Marine minds. How many more meat choppers would steel their nerves in the days to come? The mountain's shadows hid more than enemies. They held the whispered ghosts of this devastating encounter. Dust settles like a funeral veil over the northern ridges, but the war's pulse quickens in the island's bowels. Sergeant Kowalski's Quad-50 crew wipes down barrels caked in gore, the acrid stench of burnt powder clinging to their fatigues like a second skin. You hear it first to faint. Ragged breathing from a nearby shell hole, then Private Ruiz spots him. Corporal Kenji Sato, Tanaka's radio man, crawling on elbows, uniform shredded, eyes hollow with the 1,000-yard stare. Kemizama no Ikari, Sato mutters in broken English, learned from a captured Yank. God's wrath machine. His tale spills out in whispers to interrogators later. The Quad-50, that Oni no Kame demon scythe, had turned their sacred charge into a slaughter. Word spreads like rot through Kuribayashi's hidden networks. Radio operators in candlelit caves buzz with dread Banzai no longer glory, but suicide against American meat choppers. Survivors from the Dawn Wave trickle back, faces gaunt, babbling of 4-barreled reapers that spit 2,000 rounds a minute, shredding flesh at 2,900 feet per second. Lieutenant Tanaka, wounded but alive, pens a final dispatch before vanishing into tunnels. The enemy's fire devil consumes spirit itself. Charges fail. Even elite SNLF Marines, forged in Bushido's fire, falter, bayonets lowered. Men huddling in darkness, whispering prayers against the mechanical god. Feel their isolation. Humid air thick with fear sweat. Echoes of the Quad's roar haunting dreams. Marines press on. 5th Division grinding north amid caves honeycombed like a madman's maze. Flamethrower teams roast out defenders. Demolition men seal bunkers with satchel charges that bloom orange in the gloom. But the Quad's shadow looms repositioned on high ground. It claims dozens more in scattered rushes, tracers painting night skies bloody. Doc Vasquez, knee-deep in amputations, overhears a captured private sob. We thought death honorable. Now, only endless shredding. The terror metastasizes. Japanese tactics shift from waves to attrition, buying time with snipers and mines. Over 18,000 Imperial dead by battle's end, most never seeing a Marine up close, just the Quad's merciless hail. Yet victory bitters. Marines tally 6,821 brothers lost, 19,217 wounded in 36 days of hell more casualties than Japanese killed, a Pyrrhic stain on the Corps' banner. 27 medals of honor awarded, valor amid the volcano's curse. As patrols probe deeper, Sato's words echo. Had the Quad broken more than bodies? A faint Banzai rises from unseen depths, faint, desperate. Will the caves birth one final doomed wave? Or has terror finally claimed the fanatics' fire? March 26, 1945. The black volcanic sands of Iwo Jima lie eerily still. The battle finally declared over after 36 days of relentless combat. The human price is staggering. Approximately 6,800 U.S. Marines lie dead, their numbers more than twice the total American fatalities in World War I, with nearly 19,200 wounded. The Navy corpsmen and surgeons who tended them paid dearly as well, with over 200 deaths among medical personnel. The Japanese defenders, some 21,000 at the battle's start, were almost entirely wiped out, about 20,000 killed and only 216 taken prisoner, many only so because they were unconscious or disabled. These numbers tell a bleak story of sacrifice and ferocity unmatched in the Pacific theater. The Quad-50 machine gun, originally designed for anti-aircraft defense, became a terrifyingly effective defensive weapon against the desperate Japanese Banzai charges. Its 4 rapid firing, 50 caliber barrels could shred charging infantry with a hailstorm of bullets, breaking the morale of even the most fanatical soldiers. Veterans described it as a meat chopper that tore through ranks with ruthless efficiency, instilling fear that reverberated deep into the enemy ranks. This weapon not only physically stopped waves of attackers, but also shattered the psychological will of many Japanese soldiers to charge again. In the brutal aftermath, Marines faced another challenge rooting out defenders who refused to surrender, hidden in extensive cave networks. These close-quarters battles demanded flamethrowers, explosives, and bitter personal combat. The terror and trauma left behind by the Quad-50 charges helped hasten the Japanese defeat, but the cost for both sides was devastating. The battle symbolized the worst of war's carnage and courage, with legacies that shaped Marine Corps' tactics and haunted its veterans long after Iwo Jima's black sands were silent. What price is victory when so many faces echo loss? Deep beneath the northern gorges, March 23, 1945. Candle flames flicker against damp stone walls, casting jagged shadows on maps stained with blood and desperation. General Tadamichi Kiribayashi, gaunt and resolute in his command cave, listens to the muffled thunder of American flamethrowers sealing tunnels nearby. His radio crackles with Sato's captured report filtered through survivors. The Quad-50 ... mouths of hell. Banzai becomes ash. Kuribayashi's fist clenches. 21,000 men dwindled to ragged bands, their spirit corroded by tailies of the meat chopper that devoured charges whole. No grand waves, now just snipers' pops and suicide probes from the dark. You feel the claustrophobia. Air thick with sweat, cordite, and the copper reek of wounds untended. Outside, Marines of the 5th Division seal the island yard by bloody yard. Demolition teams lob satchel charges into vents, orange blooms echoing like judgment. Private Ruiz, now scarred across his cheek from shrapnel, mans a repositioned quad on a ridge, scanning voids where eyes might gleam. "They're in there, Sarge, waiting to rush," he mutters to Kowalski, whose hands still tremble from endless traverses. A night counterattack erupts. 1,000 under Captain Samaji Inoue surge from hidden exits, bayonets flashing moonlit fury. But the quad awakens tracers, whip through the gorge at 2,000 revolutions per minute. Bodies piling in windrows, 784 Japanese, slashed down for 347 Marine casualties. Inoue falls, katana shattered. His men scatter into caves, whispering of the demon reborn. Terror solidifies. Holdouts perhaps 3,000 evading the noose huddle in warrens, rationing rice and madness. Quad-50 echoes haunt them. No honorable death, just mechanical oblivion. Kuribayashi pens his final order. Do not suffer disgrace. He slips away at dawn. Seppuku in shadows, body never found. By March 26th, Admiral Chester Nimitz declares Iwo secure. After 36 days, 6,821 Marines dead, 19,217 wounded. Japanese near-total annihilation, 216 prisoners amid 20,000 graves. Seabees pave airstrips amid the dead, P-51s soon screaming overhead to escort B-29s home. Doc Vasquez binds a final casualty under Surabashi's gaze, the flag's shadow long. Marines toast fallen brothers with warm sea rations. But eyes dart to caves. Rumors of holdouts persist till 1949. The Quad's legacy? Not just steel, but shattered myths. Banzai's fire quenched by fear. Yet one faint cry echoes from the depths. Is the island truly silent? Or does defiance stir one last breath? Dawn breaks over a silenced Iwo Jima, March 26, 1945. Admiral Nimitz's voice crackles over radios. Iwo Jima secured. But the island weeps in silence. Black sands, carpeted with 6,821 American dead, over 19,000 wounded. Corpsmen among the 200 lost, stitching valor's price. Japanese toll, 20,000 vanished into eternity from 21,000 starters. A mere 216 prisoners pulled from caves, many broken or unconscious. Holdouts haunt tunnels till 1949, final ghosts surrendering in shame. Seabees bulldoze graves for runways. P-51 Mustangs soon roaring off to shield. B-29s bombing Tokyo. 2,400 emergency landings saved. 24,761 crewmen rescued in the war's endgame. Feel the hollow triumph. Victory forged in Hell's Forge. Sergeant Kowalski slumps against his Quad-50, barrels warped from ceaseless fire, hands raw from belts that fed the beast. Meat Chopper saved our asses. He rasps to Ruiz, whose eyes glaze with ghosts' faces shredded mid-scream. Doc Vasquez tallies morphine vials amid amputees, whispering prayers for boys from Iowa farms now eyeless hulks. The weapons legend swells. Maxim M45 Quad Mount 4. 50 BMGs cinched in electric fury, birthed to skies but reborn, devouring Banzai hordes at 2,000 rounds per minute. Japanese whispers confirm it. Oni no Kama. Demon scything, bushidos blaze to terror's whimper. Charges crumbling before bayonets kissed leathernecks. Legacy etches deep. 27 medals of honor. Highest single battle tally. Kurabayashi's suicide seals his defiance March 23rd. Body ash engorges. Marines etch names on Suribachi's slopes, but nightmares linger. Was the cost deadlier than Belleau Wood or Guadalcanal worth 8 square miles? B-29s hum overhead, proving yes. Yet vets like Tex Harlan carry scars. Quads roar echoing in dreams. Iwo shifts Pacific War airfields, pulsing life into fire raids that crack Japan's spine. Years later, Sato, one of few survivors, testifies. We charged gods, met machines. Marines toast at reunions. Quad tailies mythologized. But one question haunts. In breaking enemy terror, did America birth its own endless shadow war? The sands hold no answer. Only echoes fast forward to 1945's close. Okinawa looms, but Iwo's lessons scar tactic squads massed on ridges, shredding kamikaze shadows and ground rushes. Over 1,000 Banzai charges Pacific-wide falter post-Iwo, fears virus spread by survivors' tailies. Post-war, M45 South, mothballed then revived in Korea, Vietnam buzzsaw of infantry nightmares. You sense it. Steel's cold psychology outlives flesh. Kowalski returns home, Bronze Star pinned, but shudders at fireworks. Ruiz farms Kansas soil, jumps at tractors. Vasquez nurses stateside, hands steadying old fears. Japanese remnants honor dead at Yasukuni, Quad unspoken taboo. Modern Sims recreate the roar gamers pale at virtual carnage. The weapon? Museum relic at Quantico, barrel's silent witness. Yet Iwo endures. Flag-raising icon, Core's unbreakable spirit. Quad-50? Unsung hero villain, terror's architect. 80 years on, lessons whisper. Technology bends will, but courage claims the ash. Banzai's fire? Quenched. Marine's grit? Eternal.